Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to acknowledge your lead and turn it into gold. Welcome to Alchemy 101 on the Artist First Radio Network. All past shows are archived. You can find them at artistfirst.com. And now here he is back from vacation. It's your host, Halo Marquis.
Hey, how you guys doing tonight? Thank you. It is actually pretty amazing to be back from vacation. It's a lot of times we take these little trips and it sounds really good to get away, see what we can see, go on these experiences, and at some point you're ready to come home, and it's okay. It's a good thing. The way I like to explain to my wife is when you hear about the kings and pharaohs of old, unless they were out conquering, they stayed within their palace. And I feel like this is my palace, so it's great to be back. Had an amazing time. Actually took a vacation. How you doing, Judith? So it was pretty amazing. So tonight, guys, this is what we're talking about. Okay, I'd mentioned before I wanted to get into conversations about the Mystech Movement. Okay, and give me just a second. I'm pretty important thing going on. So tonight we're going to get into some testimonials. I'm going to get into some new products we're working on, some different Q&A, pretty fun stuff. And I want to show you guys this really cool thing that we have, and that's what I'm getting delivered really quick. So I hope everyone has actually been to the mystech.net website by now if you've been listening to the show. If not, if you're new to the show, aside from Alchemy 101, I've been running a biotech company for about 2 years solid on my own, but I've been in the technology for roughly 8 to 9 years now. And it's just absolutely amazing. So the reason that I actually launched Alchemy 101 and have this show is because I want people to get more than just a product and feel better. Because to me, there's so much more to it. And so with the show, it's a way of introducing some other ideas and lifestyles and such to really get you all the way in tune and really into a healthy living lifestyle, if you will. So that being said, okay, so Mystech, right? Because we have questions all the time about how does it work and what does it do? And I'll let you guys know, after getting back from my vacation, we had close to about 30 orders to get caught up on. So I've been flying through so many things to get caught up on just this week. When I decided that this was supposed to be the weekend talking to you guys about Mystech and the new partnership that we're doing with my other company, funny, but, they do go hand in hand. I start putting together, pictures and animations and all these different things that I usually don't do. So bear with me if it's not absolutely fantastic, but I do hope it is enough for you guys to be able to really get a good visualization of what's going on. So first off, let me bring this up really quick for you guys so you can see this. And if you're on the radio right now, don't worry, I'll do my best to explain the visualization. If you're with me here on Artist First, and thanks again for joining me tonight, guys. So the idea, and it's more than an idea, it's more than a theory. There's tons and tons and tons of science and studies and so on that really back this up. So what we're talking about is the issues and pain that come from EMFs and Wi-Fi and just a lot of things that have been created because of the artificial frequencies that we've created. So this is what happens. All right, give me a second to pull this up for you guys. And again, if you're out on the radio, don't worry, I've got you. So what we're going to be showing right here is called proton alignment. All right, so you guys give me just a second, and I'll get it up on the screen and show you. And I apologize, it's a little hot, so I may be sweating. Back from Vegas, but it's good. So here's what we've got. All right, no, we don't need that. But all right, so here's what happens. Your body has a natural electrical field. In fact, me moving my hands like this right now, right? This is actually something that you'll be able to see. Electrical inputs are running through my hands if you have the right type of machines and so on to be able to see that. But at the end of the day, we are electronic beings. So our brain firing off synapses in our brain, right? Those are electrical inputs like a current that run through our body, right? This is a scientific fact. So again, guys, look these things up. And it's interesting when I talk to scientists, science minds, generally they know about most of these things. And then I talk to people that are not, and they're not always really sure. So it's interesting. Imagine just for a second, right? Because this is one of the questions I got, and we'll get into those a little bit later on. But imagine, not being a mechanic and really not studying much about cars or automobiles at all. And then taking your car into a mechanic and saying, hey, what's the name of that tool that you use to take the tire off? And he goes, oh, you mean a lug wrench? And you go, no, that's not it. And he's like, I'm pretty sure it's a lug wrench. And you go, no, that can't be what it is. And he asks you, well, what is it? And you just say, I don't know, but I know it's not that. That just doesn't come across that. I think intelligence, the nice word for it, but it's just, that is kind of the naysaying I get when it comes to this topic. All right. So most physicists know about this information. Most actually electricians know about this information. If you go beyond any type of just generic high school studies that you're forced to take something for yourself that you want to learn, you can go out and find out all sorts of information that's out there. So the visualization that I have up right now, okay, on the bottom is if you're looking at your nervous system, okay, I need you guys to just, understand and think about it this way for a second. Your nervous system sends pain signals from wherever your pain is in your body, whether it's your foot, your knee, your tooth, anywhere. It doesn't matter what it is. That pain signal gets sent through your nervous system to your brain. And that's how you know where the pain is. Okay. So if that system is aligned, like what you're seeing here on the bottom, if you're again with me, and basically what I have a visualization is some circles with lines that are all perfectly aligned with a signal running straight on through, where the pain signal can run at a perfectly straight line so you know where the pain is. So if your nervous system is aligned correctly, then you'll be able to get a small amount of pain, but still know where it is. So hopefully that makes sense, guys. And if not, please feel free to ask any questions if you're with us online. But if your pain signal is traveling in a straight line, your pain is going to be where it's supposed to be, the realistic version of that. However, because of all the different electromagnetic fields and different frequencies and Wi-Fi, so all these different things that are out there, your straight pathway that I'm showing here on the bottom part of the visualization gets out of whack and miscued. And because of that, the pain signals, instead of going in a straight line, are more moving in this, up and down, out of whack type spot. So because of that, when your pain has its different pulses and things that go through, instead of just being that straight line, it becomes very erratic. So a small amount of pain feels like it's in a larger amount of the body. It also can make it feel like it's much more intense. So that's what I'm talking about. So with the technology that we have, thank you so much. Just got a free delivery, guys. That's great. So because of that, and let me close out of this real quick. Your body has a very specific ways that you feel, and the way that you can perform, and the way that you can think and focus. And, are you guys with me on this? Hopefully this makes sense. So this is what the Mystech products and the Mystech technology is able to do. Okay. Anything that is metal or mineral, it's essentially called a crystalline molecular structure. So something that's very solid. We have a very specific process that we can run through and basically imprint any frequency that we want into these metals or minerals. So when we do that, it's something that becomes permanent. Okay. Now, the process itself is pretty proprietary, so we can't get into too many details. But that is one of the questions that I have. And again, we'll get to what I can explain here pretty shortly. But hopefully that visualization works, okay? So because of that, we have a line of bracelets. We've got necklaces. Times we've had earrings, water bottles, even people that have sent in their own personal items, right? And because of that, we've been able to put this frequency, I'd say, into probably a little over 400,000 people or items, maybe even more than that. But thus far, the feedback that we get, right, and we're doing this based off of customer feedback, right? We want to know that this is what the people are saying, not that in a lab with this and this to make it say this, and with all these other things, this is what you're going to get. I mean, that's we can do that as well, right? And again, we'll get to that here in a little bit when I get to some questions. But when we get feedback from people, and I'll go over some of the testimonials, we have some on our website and so on. It's a broad range, okay? And I need people to be able to understand this as well, because every person's level of severity and pain tolerance is widely different, right? And every person's diagnosis, oddly enough, with doctors, and you know, I definitely feel that we need the medical field that we have to a degree. Even hard to even say it without choking. But I don't know about the drug part of it. I don't know. Maybe for some things. Anyways, but we want people's results. We want people to actually feel better, and that's what we've been basing everything off of for, again, close to 8 years. So the honest feedback that we get, right, is ranging anywhere from a 25 to 65% improvement on virtually any type of ailment that we've come across so far, right? And I mean, we're talking any type of pain. We're talking about arthritis. We've had amazing feedback with ADHD, seizures, heart conditions. Like the list literally goes on, because at the end of the day, your body is a giant circuit board. That's what it is. And like anything else, if your circuits aren't wired correctly and functioning in the right way, there's going to be some distortion that happens. And so still that we're in 2018 and people see and hear all these things, it's very, I don't want to say irritating because that's too strong of a word, but it's mind-boggling that this isn't a more broad topic of discussion and something that more people know about and things that more people are working on to try to fix. So for the light workers that are out there, the people that are working in the fringy metaphysical science areas, thank you so much for what you're doing. And please continue the work, because we can see the results, even if we can't always see the science, but generally we can. So yeah, so that's it, guys. I mean, it really is that simple. There's examples that I like to give and go over, and I've done them so many times. I just I don't know if I can handle going over them too many more times, or if you guys even want to hear them that many more times. But think about if you've ever been listening to the radio, right? This is one of my absolute favorites. So I've been listening to the radio, and you get a phone call, right? Now, when you get this phone call, the song becomes kind of staticky, right? This is the thing. Now, that is because of the outside interference. It's interfering with that perfect, clear, crisp signal. Then once you hang up, the song goes back to being normal. So in that exact same context, when your body is bombarded from all of these outside waves, there's distortion that's going to happen. And so with this technology, and guys, here's what we're using. Surprise. We're using 7.83 hertz. It is the original natural Schumann resonance. It is the Earth's natural frequency. That is also a huge topic of discussion in certain circles. That's entertaining, we'll say, but this is the thing that I get. And again, if you guys are out there, you see the video, message me anytime. I would love to know people's thoughts on this, because it's one of the most common things that I get. It's funny. Hi, Steven. How you doing? Isn't the Schumann resonance changing, and isn't it fluctuating? And yeah, that's we're not in any case ever have I denied that the Schumann resonance has changed or is changing or anything like that. Now, for what reasonings? There's a broad, diverse number of reasons for that. But at the end of the day, this is what you have to understand. And look it up, guys. There's an amazing video on our website, mystech.net, called Resonance Beings of Frequency. Okay, look it up, watch it. You watch this, and then do your due diligence and cross-reference multiple times, and you come to find out, wow, it's a real thing. It's incredible. It's amazing. But imagine that this is the thing, right? And this is how your body works. So if 7.83 hertz was the original, that's what life's developed at, and that's the Earth's natural frequency. If we've changed it and it's fluctuating, gone up and down or whatever, what does that have to do with it being the natural original frequency? Because I like to joke and play fun and be kind of facetious with people that we like to say smart idiots. They know a lot about nothing. It's great. But if I had a clear glass of perfectly clean water and it was just pure H2O, right? No outside additives, no anything, just pure water. And that's what pure water looks like. And then we have a dog and a bear and some other animals pee in it. the water's going to change and the pH is going to change. And I imagine the taste, I don't want to, but, I would imagine the taste is going to change. So that doesn't take away from the fact that at one point it was H2O and was just pure and natural and normal. So for the argument that when I do talk to people that know about it, it's the most ridiculous argument I've ever heard. And I would love to have just a better understanding of how that becomes relevant to the natural frequency of the planet and how we're supposed to be. So that's one of the questions that I get pretty often that I still haven't figured the math out on it yet, but I guess it's a relevant question. So, yeah. So that being said, Stephen, Judith, thank you guys for joining me on the channel. I have some amazing blue snake tea. It's amazing stuff. I want to go ahead and start getting into a couple of the testimonials. Now, if you've not been to the website before, on mystech.net, we have an entire section specifically for just testimonials. So I'm going to read some off of that. I'm going to read some other ones that I was working on today from just text messages and emails and stuff that I've gotten from people. But guys, and this is the thing. There are times, I need you guys to imagine this for a second, okay? One of my favorite testimonials that we get very, very consistently and is just amazing to see, right? And that's what you want. You want to see something life-changing. You want to see what seems like a miracle. You want to see something that might be difficult for your mind to comprehend until it's explained, right? That's what we're here for, these experiences, right? So I can't tell you how many times where I've been out at a location. And again, please explain this. I that's part of the reason to have the show is so we can all learn these different things together. Where we'll have someone that comes up, and again, we have videos on the site, guys, so please check it out. Also on YouTube, the Mystech website, just look up Mystech Movement, and you'll come across a bunch of videos there. But we've had people with torn rotator cuff issues, right, where they can do maybe that, get their arm up, maybe 30, 45, not that much. And we'll see the pain and we'll see the struggle, and then we'll give them usually 5 to 6 level 2 Mystech bracelets or bands. And level 2 just means our top potency, right? And I'll get to that in the questions, but we'll put on 5 or 6 of our strongest pieces directly on the shoulder that's been frozen, whether it was from surgery and injury, whatever it might be, right? But we just put it there. And while we're doing this, we usually find out what happened from the accident, or we're talking about how the science works. But after 2 minutes at most, we have them go ahead and move their arm again. And suddenly, here's what happens. They go like this, and their arm is above their head for the first time. And you can see this look of amazement and relief and excitement. They just got their arm back. You see this happen. And they're like, wait, what? And there's times, don't get me wrong, most of the time, people get it. But still, there's times when people see this happen and go, I don't know, wow, that's so crazy. You know what? I'm still not sure if it works still. Let me think about it. And they put it down and they go about whatever they're doing. And then 10, 15 minutes later, they'll usually come back and go, hey, I can't move my arm again. And I'm like, well, yeah, you didn't keep that on and your body's getting out of whack again. And they still go, well, let me think about it. I'll get back to you. What in a sense like that, anyone at any time, how is that a thing that you still need something to think about or need someone else's validation to tell you that it worked? It's incredible that I see this, but I do all the time. It's one of my least favorite things about what I do. And I don't know, it's a very interesting thing. So you'll see these testimonials all the time, right? So I was talking with a really good friend of mine earlier today. And I didn't ask him about saying his name or anything, so I apologize. We'll just say B, But I was talking to him. I was like, yeah, you remember any good testimonials or anything? And this is exactly what he says in there. So I'm just reading this to you guys. He said, yeah, man. Well, my mom is a great one. Has fibromyalgia. Her shake stopped immediately after putting 2 bracelets on, and she could then stand on one leg. By the next day, her pain was gone. Now, this is a testimonial that we get pretty often. And what's amazing and what I love about this story is fibromyalgia, right? They still don't know exactly what it is. So it makes it very difficult to diagnose, makes it very difficult to treat, a number of different things, but we hear things about this all the time. And this guy's mom, like, this is amazing to me. So my mom also had fibromyalgia, right? And this is what they say. And what really got me into this, and this is, again, one of the questions, so we'll skip to it just because fibromyalgia is here. She was taking morphine, I think even a couple of times methadone, things like super high, crazy painkillers, right? And whatever else killers. But for almost 6 years off and on. And I got my hand into my first piece of 7.83 hertz frequency jewelry. I gave it to her without telling her anything at all. And the next day she was dancing around making breakfast. And so I immediately thought she was on her meds. You know, I wasn't thinking that it was going to work this fast, and no way. And she's dancing around and I'm like, what is going on with you right now? Like, did you take morphine for breakfast? Is that the new, Breakfast of Champions? What's going on? And she started laughing and told me, no, she just thought maybe she was excited to see us. And we had to start visiting more than just the holidays. Like, she slept all night and had no pain. And when I saw that, I'm seeing this little pink bracelet on her wrist and thinking to myself, like, overnight, like, that's way faster than what I thought was going to work. And it took 2 months before she had a really bad fibro flare up. And then I gave her a level 2 piece. And then this last Thanksgiving that we just passed has now been 7 years that she's been off all those meds from her fibro. So to me, and we all have our own experiences and blah, 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 blah. But that's one of the things that for me made it absolutely astounding and that real, because I saw it happen overnight and I've seen it over this amount of time. It's insane. So thank you, B, for sending that testimonial and letting me share that, because that really is what the company is really about. And that's what is exciting. Like, it's weird to be a business owner, especially when you're talking to people that are in this democracy version of, so I don't know how you would really classify what we have for business right now, but it's interesting being a business owner and not having money be the thing at the top of my list. And it's interesting talking to people that are like, ooh, that's a good sales. It's just not. It's not one of those things. I made a crap ton of money when I was younger. Didn't make me happy. What I found made me happy was helping people. And with this, we get to do it from the inside out. And hopefully we get to introduce them into other things spiritually and metaphysically and so on, and really get people back to their own divinity and what makes them excited and be creative and imaginative again, and really care about other people. And what I've really seen is that it's difficult for people to be nice to other people in the real world if they're in pain, if they have something traumatic that they're dealing with. And it's not always a physical pain, right? Sometimes it is a mental, sometimes it's emotional, sometimes, and a lot of time, I really think that it's spiritual. And I don't want to get into that on this show this week, because I don't really feel that my point of view is any more valid than anyone else's, but I think it should come from an internal place and what really works for you. And if you can find that and do that, then you will be happy, you'll have an amazing life, and you will live to a very, very old age, because stress is the #1 killer to the body. So what's amazing and what I love about what I do is, with this, we see people's lives transformed, right? And here's the cool thing, guys. It's not about the pain or the ailment or whatever it is. It's not even about that. What it is about is what part of life the person gets back because this thing is gone, right? You have no idea how many times I've been talking to people and they're like, I get to hold my grandkids again now, or I'm out early in the morning and going for a walk. I'm getting really good sleep. Like, these are the things that are so exciting and so amazing to be able to do this. And it's also one of the things that drives me so crazy when people are out there that don't want to try it, that don't believe it's a thing. And like, there's literally nothing at all to lose at all. So because of what I've been able to do with Mystech and what I've seen this technology do, we've now also gotten into the radio show that you guys are with me on right now, Alchemy 101. We're on artistfirst.com, and we finally got orderofalchemy.org will now take you directly to the YouTube channel. So with the Mystech products, we have a way to help improve body function and make you more optimal, just feel better from a physical standpoint, a mental standpoint. But with Order of Alchemy and Alchemy 101, we're able to also hopefully instill some level of peace of mind, areas to grow in, just different perspectives to look at on how to live your life. And so I thought, because of that, it was the perfect opportunity to pair what I was doing with Order of Alchemy with Mystech, right? And so I don't know about this master stuff, but I do have a gentleman, Steve, thank you so much, who was amazing at creating and putting together these just amazing, tangible, real pieces of art, right? And so I'm very thankful for him. Thank you, man. It's been incredible working with you. And what we've done now is, and I'll pull this up here on the site here in a sec, is created some combination style products. So we now have a alchemy section here. I'll get this up for you guys on the screen. And then I'll get into these questions. And I think the questions are going to be a lot of fun. You know, I like to mess with people, so we should have a good time. Okay, so let's see. Here we go. So on the Mystech site now, we have the biohack section, right? That was the last thing that we launched. But if you look to the left, we have this new alchemist section, right? And so what these are going to be are different pieces of acrylic, wood, metal, things that we're getting laser engraved, cut out. Like, look at this is amazing work, and imprinted to very specific frequencies, the solfeggio frequencies, to go along with the Order of Alchemy progression system for the chakra points and things like that. So the Order of Alchemy gold pendant necklace, it's on pre-order right now. I'm expecting to get it out, I hope no longer than about a month, okay? But so what this is our first combined product. And here's what we're doing, guys. We're discounting it down to 66 from 75. I'm going to start going with dual numbers. I think that'll be just a fun thing to do. But with it, you're also going to get like a free level 1 band from Mystech. You'll also get a half off discount for the classes that we're going to be ordering or offering for Order of Alchemy. So I'm really, really excited about that. Definitely check that out. And there's even the potential, and Stephen, don't get too excited because I'm saying potential, of a game that we might even be implementing, that this would be something that you would use to recognize as a piece. So there's just so many things that are going on, guys. So it's incredible. Thank you again so much. So testimonials. I have one other one that I want to make sure that I cover. Okay, and this is a very big one. Okay, so I'm going to read it because when I say it's a big one, it's big. So I'll do my best to sum it up. But I got this testimonial. Probably a year and a half ago. And so I'll do my best to summarize this, but it's so incredible. I kind of don't want to. Also, if you guys are in the channel, have any questions, please feel free to shoot them over, but I want to cover this and then we'll get into the questions. So this is exactly how it reads, guys. When I received my bracelet in the mail as a gift from a very close friend of mine, I was skeptical, but willing to try anything that might give me some relief. At the time, I was suffering from 3 weeks of 20 to 60 seizures per day. Now, this is a result of a 2.5 centimeter mass discovered over my left temporal lobe. It was diagnosed in 2013. When I had my first seizure, I thought I was having a stroke. All right, this is amazing. The morning that I went to collect my package, I had already experienced 4 seizures. From the moment I put that bracelet on my wrist, the seizures stopped. And after 30 days, not one seizure has even slightly manifested itself. That when I've read that, guys, like, can you imagine? 30 days, none, gone completely. And it goes on. In 2012, I had cataract surgery. My left eye was my dominant eye. And then this tumor manifested itself, causing random seizures. The most severe are very aggressive on the right side of my face, constricting the muscles and having no control of the right side of my face and drooling down the front of my shirt until the seizure subsides. But the majority of the seizures I experienced were unknown and unrecognizable to those around me, with the exception that I would lose the ability to speak, type, or write down words on paper for several minutes after the seizure took place. This was a real challenge, very frustrating for me, and I'm sure frustrating to many others I was trying to communicate with during these disabling events, considering I do public speaking and I teach. I had to begin my workshops with an apology and ask for an understanding if a seizure should manifest during my presentations. So I don't know about you guys, but I mean, that just up to there, like that's not, you can't make this stuff up, guys. This is a real person with, a very disabled, and this is not just a random thing that just he has. I mean, this is a common issue. So this is a thing that's out there. Now, let's see. Okay. Neither of the 2 different prescriptions for anti-seizure medication was working. It's important to say the benefits and results of this life-changing technology for me goes well beyond just ceasing of seizures since I began wearing the bracelet. At the age of 62, I reflect back of all the years that I've used my body, and the result of this abuse and the manifestations of severe chronic pain 24/7 with very little relief and one of the key effects of sleep deprivation. I was lucky if I got 4 hours of sleep a day. Now, I've been an athlete most of my life. I began playing baseball at the age of 4, and baseball being my favorite sport is the focus of my life at the time. I played semi-pro baseball as a pitcher. I just signed a contract with the pros before a freak accident to my pitching elbow resulted in the loss of my career. The injury resulted in elbow surgery to repair a pinched nerve. Cortisone shots have been a result at my current age with joint issues, arthritis, and constant chronic pain in the elbow. Goes on to say, I joined the Army at the age of 20. I applied for Special Forces during the time. I'd made 147 jumps, sometimes into the jungle, into trees, other times during windstorms, and the result of this high impact to my body included breaking my tailbone 3 different times. Man, so like I said, guys, there's a lot that goes on in this testimony, but that's why I like sharing it. It's amazing. Judith, I'm not sure which part's terrible, but sorry, I just saw it. Let me know. I'm almost done with and we'll figure out what's terrible. You talking about the story? It's pretty bad. In 1984, I was rear-ended in a company vehicle resulting in 2 partial lemmatectomies. Sorry, I'm probably saying that wrong. Apologize, grammar Nazis out there. In my lower back, and 10 years later, in a manner of 11 months, I was in 2 auto accidents, a passenger and a bicycle accident. I was disabled for 33 months. I've had compression fractures in my neck, middle and lower back, totaling of 7 fractures in my spine. Inflammation has been a #1 challenge affecting most of the joints in my body, causing swelling of my neck, which led to the seizures on a regular basis. Oh, well, this isn't my past, Judith, but thank you. This is a gentleman's testimonial. But yeah, it's crazy. Guy is absolutely amazing. And if you knew all the stuff that he does now and what he's looked into, wow. But I have permission to at least share the testimonial. So I'll cover that. So then it goes on. When my friend told me of the technology relating it to Tesla and the Schumann resonance, I was willing to look past, and this is cool, what I judged to be a hokey mall kiosk presentation using ART, anatomic response testing. I decided to wait to view any of the videos under the science behind our products at their website because I wanted the product to prove itself absent any other influence. The mind is a powerful thing, and subliminal and neurolinguistic programming can have an effect on the outcome of an experience of a product, in my opinion. So I waited for the bracelet to arrive to have an unbiased experience with the technology. The bottom line results are as followed. Not about you guys, but I'm kind of excited, so I'm gonna drink a little bit more tea real quick. This is great. Yeah, dude, it's okay. Not me. My past, multidimensional jumping is a whole different thing. Yeah, just kidding. Maybe. So bottom line's results. Over the last 30 days, I have had 0 seizures. Within 2 hours of putting the bracelet on my left wrist, the inflammation in my neck and body reduced approximately 80%. And within 24 hours, inflammation seemed to be completely non-existent. I believe the brain tumor was caused by overuse of cell phone and cordless phone usage. I believe the EMFs in ELFs were causing a short circuit in my brain, resulting in the seizures. Now, this is what I love about this, guys. So earlier he mentioned that he teaches and some other things. There are, Brian, thank you, man. There are so many amazing testimonials. There really are. What I like about this, though, is he's putting in terms that I know that the guy knows what he's talking about. So sometimes when people ask me how the bracelet works, my response is ELFs. And immediately they give me this weird smirky grin, which, it's fun. It's a playful thing. But I'm not talking about Santa's helpers or the ones from Dungeons and Dragons. I'm talking about extremely low frequencies, which is the term for what one of the Schumann that's. Yeah, so that's what it is. So the fact that he was using that during his testimonial let me know that I was talking to someone and receiving this testimonial from someone that actually has done the research, has looked into it, and this is still the results of what he's been telling us. So it goes on, and I promise we're almost done, then we'll get to some questions, and it'll be fun. Yeah. Hope you guys are having a good time. Thank you again for joining up tonight. The chronic pain levels throughout every joint in my body has been reduced by my estimate to be 60 to 90%. Migraine headaches are no longer existent at all. My elbows and rotator cuffs in both shoulders have had nearly full recovery of motion 90% reduction in chronic pain and inflammation has been reduced from what I can tell to 0. The chronic pain in my middle, lower back, and hips has been reduced 80 to 90%. Chronic pain in my neck has subsided approximately 60%. I'm going to order a necklace and get closer application to the injuries in my neck and see if it will give me more relief. Man, I love it. Sorry. Words cannot express the relief to my body. The 5 to 8 hours of uninterrupted sleep and how it's affected my health in such a short time, the education within the video shared above, helped me realize the negative effect due to the lack of melatonin had on my health. The gratitude to my friend who shared this marvelous technology and a selfless act of concern and kindness has forever changed my life. I'm going to read that again, guys, because that title, that phrase, those words exactly, if I could bottle that and get that into every human being on the planet, my job would be done. That's really how I feel. So I'm going to read this again. The gratitude, all of this, guys, the gratitude to my friend who shared this marvelous technology in a selfless act of concern and kindness has forever changed my life. Now, we can remove the marvelous technology out of that sentence, and I'm still just as confident that my work would be done. The gratitude that we should all have for the people that we have in our life and just the things that we have is severely underused as an overall for the human race. And that all by itself, I promise you, will impact your day in ways that you can't even fathom. I promise you. And then these selfless acts of kindness, that is the other part of it. You get those two things down, I promise you, you will be excited about life all over again. After that, you do whatever you want, but get that into your system. It's amazing. I'm a serious researcher, and since this experience, I have found more confirmations of the effects and stress to our minds and bodies with today's technologies. I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to those who developed the products necessary to make life changes for myself and many others. Last week, I showed the video and was invited to give a presentation to our private contract association of community members. Since then, my phone and email has been enriched with positive feedback every day from other members, including a father who has a daughter that suffers from seizures too. She felt a seizure coming on, and one of my partners shared their necklace with her. She wore the necklace to bed. No seizures manifested last night, and he reported this morning that she stated she got the best night's sleep she can ever remember. It's my suggestion to all of those analytical, doubting personalities who want proof through testing and science to do themselves a favor first. Test drive the product for 30 days, and there's no hassle money-back guarantee if you want to return the product, which is true. Wear it and be conscious of possible changes and effects. Be open-minded. No amount of debate or argument through science or testing can refute what I and others within my community have experienced. The results are in. One last note as a disclaimer, I have never heard of this technology, nor did I ever know the owners of Mystech prior to receiving the bracelet, nor was I solicited or paid to provide this review. This is 100% my opinion and experience of using Mystech. I hope all those who try this product get similar results. The reduction or neutralization of EMFs alone make this technology worth its weight in gold. I celebrate your health and longevity. Spread the word. SDP. Man, I got chills towards the end there, guys. Oh, man. So things like this, these are things that we experience and what I get to hear because of what I do. How can I not want to do this every single day? How can I not be excited? It's incredible. Now, I do feel like, I know I told you guys I was going to get to the question. I feel like I had one other short testimonial I want to share with you guys. And then, guys, there's more on the website. So please go see those. And there's written out ones and there's video ones. So this one said, I've worn my leather clasp bracelet for a full week now. I'm 64 years old and have noticed an overall sense of better balance and calmness. I'll be purchasing more bands soon. Thank you, DS. And so, guys, even though that's not this big, huge, crazy whopper of a tale or whatever, it is still an improvement in life. And that's all we're going for, okay? So let's see, where are we at on time? 15 minutes. All right, so I'm going to go through the questions that are the most commonly asked that I get. Anyone that's in the channel, you guys have any questions about anything, feel free to throw them out. But I'll do my best to get through these because some of them are really, really entertaining. And again, guys, I like to poke fun. So if anything I say is kind of going like this to you, then it's directed at you for sure. And it's just so when you're uncomfortable, that's when you grow and learn. So, stay with me. So one of the most common questions, and there's not really any particular order, but how long has this technology been around and why haven't I heard of it? This is one of my favorite things because this technology has been around as long as the Earth has been around. So for a while, the ability to do the imprinting portion of it is, depending on what level and severity you're talking about, intensity wise, 10 to 15 years through our process. And there might be other ones, but so far I haven't come across any that actually work the way that ours does. But I'm not saying that there's anything out there that can also help you in certain ways, just not in the way that this does per the science, but that's okay. The reason most people have not heard of this, right? Hold on to your seats because I say this a lot on the show. It's because you live in America. Surprise, the American focus has not been science for quite some time as a whole for the society. I say this sincerely, sadly, pickingly, all those fun things, but it's a real thing. There's so many times when I'm talking with people and, hey, that's right, Brian, guys. So sorry, just because it just popped in. Brian Parker, he's with us with Tactical Sovereignty, amazing guy. I still have your organized out saving one of my plants right now, so thank you. But his testimony was that he did cancel his morphine and soma prescriptions. And what's funny, guys, he even sent me pictures of the canceled strips. So that was awesome. And Brian, thank you, man. Like, I love knowing that what we're doing is helping people. It's fantastic. But to the question, if you don't know this, teleportation is not something that's 5 to 10 years down the road. China did this a few months ago. Right. And this was the thing, the reason you haven't heard of this. If you ask someone what the Kardashians had for breakfast a week ago, a huge portion of our country would be able to tell you. But if you ask them what country teleported something, most people would say none. But China did it. And I think it was like 8 to 9 months ago. And lots of other countries are talking about it, but America's not. Also, they also have an invisibility cloak using nano cameras, and it's just technology. The prime minister came out, showed a video of it, everything. But again, most people think that that's stuff of science fiction. And science fiction is just a very small, ever collapsing size that just keeps getting smaller, literally daily. So just because you haven't heard of something doesn't mean that it's not there, right? You with me? Okay. My almost least favorite question, just because I don't really know what answers people expect when they ask me this, is how does the machine work? How do you do it? It's proprietary. It's a secret. We have certain amounts of information that we can give you, but that's it. And we've given most of that information out when we can. It's kind of like a modified MRI machine. There's certain terminology we'll have really soon that you guys can start looking into and finding out. But it's proprietary. And I'm going to come back to that for another question I have. But yeah. So sorry, I can't tell you guys exactly. One of the things that I get very often as well is how long does a shipment take, or when will I get my order? Okay, so I've done everything that I've been able to do to get this information to people as they're doing an order. All the orders that when they come through on our website don't begin to go through processing, shipping, anything for at least 7 to 10 business days, right? Because we ship and then we have to get more product in and then ship again. And so I apologize that we don't have a huge, gigantic warehouse or Amazon, any of those things, like that yet. But this is also how I'm able to keep the cost down and make things work the way that they do. So on the contact form of our website, it says if you email asking about this, the email will be responded to in a slower fashion because you can click on the FAQs and get all the questions answered right there. So as I'm trying to find out new products, new frequencies, the research that needs to be done so we can continue helping and improving people through biotechnology, that's where I need to be focused on. So if I can get your answers onto the website and you can just click 2 buttons and read it, that's what we're trying to get, is a world full of people that want to be self-independent and work and look and think on their own. So it's not to be mean or cross, but it is to instill the ideal of independent research. So I promise it can be done. Next question, but Stephen, wearing a combo of the Sophigio bands with a level 2 mineral bracelet has heightened my focus and reduced headaches. Bam, that's what I'm talking about. Thank you. Hey guys, so that's the other thing. Thank you for mentioning that, Stephen. So we also, aside from the Schumann resonance, because of how our machine works, again, we can do any frequency. So we also have a line of the Sophigio frequencies that pinpoint specific parts of the body. So say, like Steven's example, if you get headaches all the time, the 852 or the 963 hertz frequencies that target the upper part of the body, those are the ones that are going to help alleviate the headache more than just the 7.83 hertz. But the 7.83 hertz is kind of like the master field that your body needs anyways for the circuitry to be working correctly. Hopefully that makes sense. Next question, right? And it's funny because this goes back to the next ones or the previous ones, excuse me. Why isn't, someone just asked me this, why isn't there a phone number on the website? First, there is the phone number on the website. You just have to look for it, okay? The reason that I don't have the number, I used to have my personal cell phone number on the website for people to reach out, ask any question, whatever you need. But the questions were supposed to be along the lines of stuff about the products or the lifestyle or the technology, but the questions that I always get are the ones that we have the answers for on the website. And so again, I'm extremely busy. If you ever do get my number and call me, it will say, if you've called me, I don't want to talk to you because I'm busy working on stuff. Text me. So we got rid of the phone number so you can just email, again, to save time, to be more efficient, to be able to create the products, again, so on. But I need everyone else out there to do their part too. So again, it's not to be mean. It's not to provide less of a customer service. It's about the idea that we'll never have world peace until everyone learns to take back their own shopping carts. So until you want to do all the stuff that you need for yourself, everyone is always going to be at other people's necks and throats and everything. So we provide as much information as we can. Not only is it in the FAQs, a lot of the questions that you guys have, it's also in the contact form to go back to that before you contact us. So I apologize, but we can only do what we can do. Another question, will your bracelet work for this? This is one of those questions that I don't ever want to give a misleading answer. Because of how the technology works, we've yet to come across something that it doesn't improve. So how well is it going to work? Again, everyone's severity and issues are always very different. So we don't, again, want to overpromise or anything like that. So what we can say is studies show it'll improve every single thing across the board. To how much and to what degree, you can try that out. Let us know. We'd love to get more feedback, and then we can give you more accurate information. But until then, that's the best that we can do. People ask me about going on Shark Tank or going on Amazon. First of all, Shark Tank, and I don't know if this is true, okay, but this is just something that I heard. I didn't look into it because I honestly don't have any interest in going on there, but someone told me that just by going on the show, that you then have to give them 30% of your business, whether someone buys or not, just because of the exposure. I'm not worried about getting investors or anything like that because I'm afraid they're going to try to change it into something else that it's not. Right now, I'm literally living the vision that was given to me and doing it the way that it needs to be done. So unfortunately, I won't sell it out or anything like that. So that's the way that I've chosen to impact the world. So I hope everyone understands that. Also, I saw a guy once upon a time do the ion bracelets, right? Which not our bracelets, not how our bracelets work, nothing like that. But because they do a similar test, people think it's the same technology, right? It's like going to Vegas and seeing women out on the street doing what women in Vegas do on the street, and then assuming, well, all women do that because they look alike, and that's just ridiculous. Sorry, but that, I'm an extremist. That's how you get to the answer really fast. But they had a scientist come on. I think he was a scientist, and Mark Cuban annihilated this guy. This guy, I don't think he's ever done any public speaking. I think he even started crying on air, and bless him and wish him all the best. But he was just a terrible person to go out, and there's just So no, we won't do Shark Tank. Amazon, we actually just got propositioned and asked for the opportunity to be able to do that, and I haven't decided yet. Along with that, I also have people that ask about how can I sell Mystech. We have an amazing reseller program. We have quite a few people doing it throughout the country now. We have some people in Australia. It is, Brian, thank you. Brian mentioned this is also part of strengthening the tribe. It is. By getting us like-minded individuals all in the same frequency, wavelength, however you want to put it, we are going to be able to make a bigger impact congruently than we ever will alone and disconnected, both within ourselves and with each other. So yes, Brian, amazing point. So for our reseller program, you can contact me either on mystech.net, Halo Marquise on any social media. You'll find me even on PS4. That's my handle. Okay, I'm not hiding for anybody. This is where I'm at. You guys need me, get a hold of me that way. Our reseller program is amazing, and there's no multi-level marketing. There's no network. It's none of that. It's just you're getting it. We're distributing it. Sell it when you want more. It's amazing. What made me decide to do this? 8 minutes. I'm going to go through this really fast. Earlier when I was talking about my mother's results, that's really what got me into it. How do you know it's imprinted? So guys, I'm finally allowed to let you guys know there is a company out of Germany that makes a very specific type of X-ray diffractometer that you can get for roughly $53,000 before shipping. You can get that item and run one of our bands through it to see if it's working. Or you can spend $25 and just try it out for yourself. But there's the technology to do it. You can look it up. Unfortunately, the video is all in German, but you can see it that way. Can I return it if it doesn't work? Absolutely. You have a 30-day money-back guarantee. What are the negative side effects, if any? Worst case scenarios. This is what I've seen thus far. This is the feedback that we have. Some people that are very highly electrically tangible, they can feel it. For anywhere from 15 minutes to 3 hours can feel tingling in the body or head. Some people can feel even lightheaded to a degree because everything is shifting very fast. That's about it. In a handful of cases, we have had some people say that whatever their pain area was felt like it got a little bit more severe for a little bit of time and then completely went away. So in the same sense of your arm's broken and then heals incorrectly, they have to break it back out of place to put it back in the right way. Think in that same context. But other than that, there's nothing really other than that. My 5 bonus favorite questions, right? Is the customer always right? No, I apologize. Not trying to be mean to you guys, but again, in 2018, I don't know too many Americans that I come across that actually took the time to study anything past high school and or college, aside from getting whatever paper they wanted. So 95% at best of the people I talk to probably don't know what physics really is. They probably couldn't tell you what the Schumann frequency is. So because of that, how could you possibly be right? Our job, and everyone that's ever done anything within the company, is not to be a salesman. Everyone's job title is technician, to explain the science. That's it. If you want it, fantastic. If not, no big deal. No problem. What's the least favorite thing about my job? My least favorite thing is that people don't treat Mystech or myself or even my employees sometimes like they would at other businesses or other things. So when people ask me like, well, how do I know it's working? Is there a machine I can read it? Tell me what the content of your gasoline is, down to the molecule. I want to know. I want to know, for all the people that ask me that question, what's in your gasoline specifically? Do you have a machine that you test it first? Is there something you put in to get the ethanol? And no, did you know it was ethanol? So this is what I mean. But they know if they take this liquid and they put it into their automobile, it moves. So obviously there's something in there to make it work. So if you put one of these on and you see some improvements, even though you don't know what's in it, obviously it's working. So that's my least favorite thing about what I do. My least favorite question or conversation. I think it's always about when people want to talk to me about the machine, because I understand the need of seeing to believing. I understand that, but it's proprietary, and some of the information that we have is just intellectual property. But I get people that will tell me, well, if you can't tell me exactly how it works, I'm not going to use it. And so this is what I do all the time, guys. And hopefully you're one of the people that's just happened to, because I think it's really funny. It's fun. Is I tell them, all right, well, look, we have a secret place I can show you on Facebook. Can you pull up Facebook on your phone for me really quick? And every person, oh yeah, no problem. And they pull up Facebook and I go, okay, I don't have anything else to talk to you about. You told me you weren't going to buy this because I can't tell you exactly how it works. But Facebook's algorithms for how they do all their marketing and advertising to you in the background, that's proprietary information and you don't get to know that either. But here you're using Facebook. So it's because people, again, don't treat us like they treat other things, because they don't have someone holding their hand telling them it's going to be okay. It's scared to try something on there, and that's okay. But just try it and grow, and I promise it'll be fantastic. What are my thoughts on modern medicine? Again, I think we need some things like surgery and some anesthetic type things, but I don't think about the drugs. I don't think we need a lot of pharmaceutical stuff. I just don't. Where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years from now? Hopefully levitating. That's my honest answer. If anything, what would you wish was different about the skeptics you talked to? That they were actually skeptics and not cynics. I've yet to come across a skeptic that we can't get through to ever. I haven't. But I met cynics that say I'm skeptical, but just they want to argue with whatever you say. Now, as a bonus, towards the end, we got 3 minutes left, guys. Thank you. It's been amazing talking to you guys about Mystech, and I hope we got some good stuff out of it. Side effects. Okay, I want you guys to guess, and this is what's interesting to me. Guess which FDA-approved drug this is. Okay, now these are just the side effects. Rapid heartbeat, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, loss of appetite, impaired vision, slow breathing rates, muscle cramps, allergic reactions, memory loss, inability to concentrate, disorientation, emotional blunting, depression and or suicidal thoughts, anxiety, insomnia, nightmares, confusion, dizziness, aggression, addiction, withdrawal, which can be life-threatening. Now, I know we have so many options of which one that could be, but this is the other thing that's so interesting to me about what I do with this, guys, is this could be a number of different prescribed things, right? And it may improve. And if you don't take the right dosage, it might not be as effective. And so all these different things happen. But that comes out to roughly $7,000 a year paying normally, $192 per year with a copay. So $7,000 or $200 either way with all those side effects. And this is what people want. Okay. Now, on the other hand, you try Mystech for less than $200, definitely less than $7,000, no negative side effects, and you have a money back guarantee. I don't know what's keeping people so scared of trying it out, but hopefully the video has been very informative and helpful for what Mystech's doing, what we're doing with Alchemy 101, Order of Alchemy. We're just about out of time, guys, so I'm going to say thank you again for joining me. Please check out mystech.net, orderofalchemy.com, and .org to see more of the videos. This is Halo, the Alchemist Jedi. Have a great night, guys. I love you.
Okay, we got it.
All right. That was fun.
Yes. It'll be posted in about an hour.
Okay.